Can we record this one too?
Yeah, it's getting recorded.
Oh, okay, no. Okay.
Yes. So, good evening, everyone. And Suren, you can take care of getting people inside. Supposing if I'm in the middle of
Yeah,
a,
yeah.
I'm not
I
able
will
to.
do that one. I will do that.
Thank you for that. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Muhammad Ilyas. Can you all hear me clearly? You can just text me in the chat area that yes, you can hear me. You can just say yes, that should be enough. Sri Sai I care. You've raised a hand. You want to say something or you mean to say that you're able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine then. Thanks. Thank you very much for that. So we'll get started for now. So I'm Mohammed Elias. I am from a company called BCC Healthcare. I run a branding and marketing communication agency which focuses on digital marketing initiatives for healthcare. So this workshop is a four episodes workshop basically. Today being the first episode of this workshop, we are going to be understanding various different aspects of digital marketing. So, so first class is all about we are going to understand the online patient search journey blueprint. In the second class, we'll understand about the social media nuances. In the third class, we'll understand more about how to effectively use Facebook and Instagram to grow your popularity. And in the fourth class, we'll understand more about YouTube. So all these four classes are particularly designed in such a way that all of you can get some practical insights of what is happening in the digital world today. And some of you may be already familiar with certain terminologies or certain concepts that I'm going to talk to you about. Maybe you wanted to understand more in detail, and that's why you have come to this session basically. So my request to you is I will give sufficient breaks in between so that we both can interact and understand the subject much more clearly as we go along the way. And I know that as practicing doctors you will have very little time to catch up on these subjects. So the very initiative that we have taken here is with Dr. Sendil, that we wanted to give you all this information in very quick capsules so that you don't have to read say another 3 4 books to understand what is happening there, but rather you come to a workshop like this and we give you all the nuances in a very shorter span of time, not only give you these ideas but also clarify your doubts, empower you with more knowledge and information. And in case if you want to do things on your own, you will have sufficient guidance on how to get started. Or if you want to give guidance to your staff who is internally there and you don't know how to guide them, and this workshop is going to help you give that insight to them. And also if you're having advertising agencies, local agencies, and if you want to give them specific inputs about your core specialty as to how they can promote your brand digitally, you will get nuances, points, techniques and tools from this workshop, and which you can effectively use in your orientation to them. So let us get started. I have to thank Dr. Sendil for this great initiative of organizing knowledge series. And after a lot of discussion with Dr. Sendil, lot of inputs from him, I have tried to change my presentation or orient my presentation more towards making it more understandable, more relatable to ophthalmologists. I have broken down technical content in non-technical way so that it is easily understandable. So today what is needed is what you have to do is what you need to know. How to do it, there are a lot of videos, lot of guides, lot of people are there to execute the job. But if you have the right framework and the right guidance, then you can do wonders. So that's the whole idea about it. So let me get started for today and share my presentation to you. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen? You can just you can unmute yourself and you can tell me. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for the doctor. So because in Google Meet, I can't see the other people there on the other side. You can see me and the presentation. Basically, that's the way how it works. So if you're able to see my presentation, it's well and good. Let me just get started. So I've also written a book on this subject called Ethical Hospital Branding and Marketing. Supposing if you're interested to learn more about this subject, there are a lot of points that I have discussed here. In fact, I've given 15 proven strategies on the subject. So what happens basically when we talk about digital marketing as such? Now, basically, when we talk about digital marketing, a lot of confusion comes in. Where to get started? How to get started? People are talking about Instagram. Somebody is saying YouTube is working for them. Somebody else is saying Facebook works for me. Somebody else is saying Google Ads. So what really works for you, or where you can get started? So there's a lot of confusion with so many things happening in the digital space that is confusing a lot of you here. One thing we need to understand is that digital, maybe from the outside when you're looking at it, you see few elements, but from the closer look when we have about digital marketing, it's like an ocean. There are lots and lots of things in digital marketing. We as advertising agencies, even we don't know much about it. Even if you take one platform, for example, Facebook, even Facebook is so deep today. It has got so much in it. There are hundreds and thousands, even lakhs of people working on developing this Facebook product. There are updates coming in every second or every minute. So much happening there. We as advertising agencies, even we don't know, or we don't use the complete potential of Facebook to its fullest. And if we have to use, we have to spend a lot of money to understand certain features. That is another area to understand. So what I'm trying to tell you is it is deep. You can't conquer the ocean. First, we need to understand that you can't learn anything about Facebook, and then you get started doing something with Facebook. So what is needed? There are people, what happens is, who just start following the features which keeps coming in Facebook or in Instagram. They do a lot of activities, they put a lot of posts and everything. But at the end of it, they say that, I'm spending too much time on social media, but I'm not getting that traction I want. They are completely drowned by activities. And these activities are actually not giving them the kind of result that they want. But there are a few others who don't do everything, but who do very specific things and get the results by doing those specific things. So they get what they want by doing very specific things. And this presentation today that I'm going to make, and the subsequent presentations that you will be seeing in the next 3 episodes that we will be having. So all are focused towards these very specific areas that you can look for. In fact, I'm going to give you a lot of ideas on various different aspects, and also I'm going to share a lot of case studies. But what I would request you to look at is whatever suits you, whatever you think is doable by you, you pick up that one thing and you do. And that's where the success comes. Another problem that we are seeing today is with respect to the strategies people take. So say for example, there is an ophthalmologist A who's very good with YouTube and has made a very good presence. And you are trying your luck with YouTube and it is not really gelling well, and you are not able to actually sync with that audience. And there is another doctor who is very good in Instagram, and they are growing their popularity well in Instagram. So what happens here is you don't have to force fit yourself. Whatever comes to you naturally, organically, you can actually expand on that. It is not that going in YouTube is the right way, going in the Instagram is the right way. In fact, every way is the right way when it comes to digital. But one thing that we need to know is you start with one. You master that one. You focus on that one platform. Why? Because you have limited time. You have limited resources. So you start with one, you master that one, you make your presence felt with that one, and then you start slowly expanding. If you have proved your merit in YouTube, when you have a good amount of audience in YouTube, and when you are starting your own Facebook or your own Instagram channel, a good amount of audience who are already there in your YouTube channel will start following you there, and apart from getting new audience. So if you are able to focus on one, then getting the audiences from the other platforms is also easy. So any direction you want, you can pick your direction, but take one direction and travel in the direction for quite some time. So Now is where we are going to talk about the five search method. So how is it all connected? So once we have a clear understanding of what is possible by us, what is doable by us, what we should be really looking on or focusing on, and once we have that much clarity, that less is more, and we can only do one at a time. If that part we are able to settle with very, very clearly, then we can discover something which is amazingly going to define you, how you are going to reach your audience. And that is going to be possible with this five search method. Are you all able to follow me? Hi everyone, are you able to follow me? Someone
Yes,
can
yes,
tell me. Yeah, yeah, fine. So far the flow is good. Is it clear?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So now is where we are going to understand how does a patient discover a brand like yours in the digital space. There are a lot of people still have confusion. Will patients will still be looking in the social media or anywhere in the Google to find a doctor? If you still have doubts, I think you will not come to this program. I'm sure that you are half convinced or else fully convinced that digital works for you, and that's where you are in this workshop. But let me assure you that the situation is just the same. In city, maybe it may be more. In tier two locations, also the kind of population we are seeing is also high, who are coming to digital mediums to decide on which doctor appointment to fix, like which appointment, which specialty, which doctor to fix an appointment with. Or even in case of tier three locations, and even in case of villages, we are able to see that this trend is increasing. That people coming to online spaces, getting to know about doctors, and then fixing up appointments. So, how does someone try to discover someone, some doctor basically online? There are five ways through which someone can actually find you out, can reach you basically. If you can understand these five methods clearly, and even if you master one method, I think you have a very good scope to reach out a very good amount of audience. And some of you may be already using it, and some other methods which are here may not be, you may not be aware of those things. Maybe if you can look at utilizing all these different search methods, you can make your brand presence felt very, very strongly. And one very important thing to look at is, even if it is a brand which is like a very big brand, a multinational brand, a healthcare brand, or a corporate healthcare brand, as they call it. So even if such a big brand is there, and if you are diligently, religiously following these rules one by one, I can assure you, even big companies or big organizations definitely miss out on even very important aspects in digital. When they're looking at the overall brand reach, not look at the local audience reach. And that's where organizations like yours, which are very, very strongly rooted in the regional areas, the local areas, you can do your bit to get the kind of audience that you want. Clear? So let me go through this search method one by one. So what we are trying to say is there are five different ways how your patients discover you online. And what happens in these five different methods is what we are going to look. Okay, this is the first method. First method is called CTA search. What is the CTA search? This method is basically coined and developed by us. So when I have trained nearly say 10,000 plus doctors on this different aspects of digital marketing, and also have trained 50,000 plus entrepreneurs on various aspects of digital marketing. So what I did is, in order to make them understand how something works, I created this framework called five search method, and then I made sure that all the important information of digital marketing are fused under this method, so that if you understand this framework, you understand the other aspects of digital marketing also. So here we again come back to the subject. First is CTA search. What is the CTA search? Call to action search. So here is the mind voice of your patient. Are you easy to find searching for you? For example, I have a problem in my eye, and I'm trying to fix an appointment with an ophthalmologist. And the doctor that I know of is not in the town today. So, but mine is little emergency. I have to really meet a doctor and find out really what's wrong with my eye. So what I do is I take the help of my fellow member who's closer to me and I ask him to fix an appointment. And he's also new to the town and he doesn't know where to go for. Then he searches in Google. So we are only going to take digital scenarios. Searches in Google saying that ophthalmologist near me. So there can be various different listings that can come. So what does the person do who is next to me to fix up an appointment? When he's going to search for ophthalmologist near me, so the first thing that he's going to see is whatever list is going to come in that, whatever names are going to come in that list, he's going to first make them a call and find out basically, is the doctor available now? So he's going to make a call. So he's making a call first, the first person, first doctor, and he's not able to reach the doctor there on the other side. The second doctor he's trying to reach, and the doctor is available, but it is 5 kilometers away from here. There is another doctor he's trying to reach, and the doctor is just say 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers away, and the doctor is available right now. So when I think there's an muted. Yes. No, not some. So I may have to mute you. Badrinath, keep you on mute, sir. Okay. Yeah. Done. You are able to see my screen, right? Again. Someone can unmute and tell me yes. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. So the doctor is available. So what does the other person do who's next to me? He's trying to fix up an appointment for me, and then we fix up an appointment. Here, the most important part in this entire journey of that online patient search journey is that he's trying to find a solution near him, and he's trying to see the availability of the doctor near him. And for doing that, he is making use of that phone number. It may look a very typical scenario or a simple scenario, but it is a everyday scenario wherein I know for sure, because we are handling a lot of hospitals. We have served nearly 600 plus brands, and we are handling at any point in time, at any given point in time, so many different hospitals, now 50 plus hospitals that we are currently working with. Mostly the scenario is they don't handle the phone calls well. Mostly it is the person at the reception who handles the phone call, and that person does not really give that much importance to the phone call that comes sometimes or most of the times. So what happens is you will lose a precious inquiry basically. Those who are anyway wanting to come to you, they will anyway come to you, but there are a lot of others who are trying to reach you and they are not able to reach you simply because we don't have a mechanism in place to get these calls in proper order and then record these calls, or get a detail of what has happened with these calls that you get every day. So we will talk about it more in detail when you ask me some relevant questions pertaining to that. But now let us jump to this part of when somebody is trying to search you, what are the different things a person sees when they are actually trying to search for an ophthalmologist near them. The first thing that comes in is, I've just taken one reference of Chennai here. So eye hospital in Chennai. The first thing that appears in most of these cases, see even Medfin, this is an advertisement space basically, wherein all the advertisements come in. That is the fastest slot. That's the search display that happens. The second slot for which you have to pay for the first one. The second one is completely free of cost. This requires you to make sure that you have good content in your website. You can ask me more about it in detail. Some of you who are familiar about it is fine, but others can also ask me about it. SEO means search engine optimization. If your website has good quality content, relevant content, then Google considers your website to be worthy to be displayed on the first page of Google. And once Google displays it on the first page of Google, those who are searching for it, they only go to the first page more for results. They don't go to the second or third page unless and otherwise the situation demands. So mostly so if you are there on the first page, which means that you're very much closer to your target audience. So people look at from one of these listings and they click and then they make a call to your number to fix an appointment, or they can even go to your website and fill up the appointment in their appointment form. The third important part through which they try to find you out is, see here, I have just typed out eye doctor near me. You get something like this. This is called Google profile. Google profile. Earlier it was called Google My Business. Mostly people are familiar with this term, but both are just the same. Google profile or Google My Business, both are same. Google profile is the new term which Google is giving you to relate to this particular feature. So here what happens is, even like for example, when you type something like this, there are a lot of listings that can come along with the map. Even though I typed for eye doctor near me, here an optical showroom is coming in. Maybe the place from where I was trying to search, I did not have a hospital near me. So it is giving me a closest reference of a optical showroom. So what I'm trying to point out here is, in your geographical locations, Google profile is called local kingmaker. Why it is called local kingmaker? Even for example, in your case, if there is a very big corporate hospital, and if you are having a setup, which is a very decent setup, and if there is a patient trying to search for eye doctor near me sitting in that particular location, and if you are closer to that particular patient, and if that bigger eye hospital is just little far away, then it is very likely that Google will try to get your location on the top here. Here, getting on top is happening again through merit, location merit. That's very important. And then how do you really bring out the reviews here? That is also one of the factors through which it can make you on the top. So basically, if you are having your location pointed out clearly, then you have every advantage to be visible before people who are closer to your location. A lot of people don't update their Google profile properly, and they don't give the numbers in the Google profile properly. And sometimes it even points out to the wrong location. So people may even sometimes pick up your route and they come inside, but they get it to a wrong location, and then they find out no, it is not there. Maybe the center is not there. They try to find out. Maybe you never even know what is happening on the other side. You may even lose people coming to you basically. So it's very much required that you take care of this feature. It's absolutely zero cost, 0 rupees, but it is one of the brilliant features which is actually giving very good amount of visibility. I have been seeing and observing this Google profile report of so many hospitals that we are working now, and we have been able to see that this particular feature alone contributes to very good amount of reach, visibility, keyword search, very good number of calls, very good number of people using this direction to come to your location. There is a analytics which is provided by Google profile completely free of cost that gives you all this data. So once you get inside the analytics, you can see all of these things. Maybe you can ask me in the question answer session how to check this. I can guide you more on that part. So the fourth part is social media. So even if you don't have a website, if you have a social media, make sure your social media name is common all throughout in all your social media. So that is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or LinkedIn for that matter. So if you have a consistency in the naming process, and what happens is, even if you are not a lot of money in the paid ads or anything, and those there are a lot of people who get to know about you through some references. So your one patient refers another patient, right? So a lot of your patients come to you, which is through referral. So nowadays, even people, if they get a referral, they want to go online and find out and learn more about the organization and the doctor. So what happens is, when they go out and Google and find out your name, more particularly here, it is a very pointed search. They are not just checking for any eye doctor. They are very specifically looking at you in Google. When they are trying to find out something like this, at that time, you coming up on the top, your listing coming up on the top is very, very important. How do you make that happen? The formula is very simple. Make sure at least your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn pages have a clear, consistent name. Don't keep each one in one name. So keep the same name in all the four places. You will be able to see, if you optimize those accounts, free accounts without any paid marketing, free accounts properly optimized, adding all the details inside, your search ranking can come on the top when somebody is trying to search for you. If somebody is searching for you and if you are not coming, somebody else will come, then that is not going to be fair. So that is the first part. So I'm just opening this session for Q&A, just for a quick Q&A. If you have any doubts relating to the first method, CTS search, you can ask me now. You can unmute and you can ask me. Are you all able to follow me? Is it too technical? Understandable?
Yeah.
Yes.
Relatable? Yeah.
My
Yes, sir.
question is this, sir.
Please.
Can I put a question?
Yeah, please, go.
Yeah.
I
It
think
is
I have
regarding.
good network in your phone. My voice is.
You are able to listen to me?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. It's regarding the Google My Business or Google profile. If there are some inherent mistakes done by the Google itself regarding my address, location, points of identification, how can I go and change that and where to edit that?
Very good question. So you can keep it on mute. I can-
Yeah.
I'll answer that. So what happens is whenever you create a listing Google profile, you can access this Google profile through your email ID. So like how you have a Gmail ID basically for accessing your Gmail account. You may have created the same Gmail using the same Gmail ID. You would have created this Google profile account also. For that, what you need to do is you need to just go and type Google profile, and the first listing, whatever comes in there, you click, and then you enter your user ID password of your Gmail account, and it will give you access. If you have access, then we will discuss about it separately. I can also share you some videos on how which can help you. So once you get inside your account, there you have complete access to change this location. Google does not make mistake. Google is a machine. So whatever we feed, only that Google takes. But yes, Google delays. They have a people who delay things, and then they have a system which does not update very regularly because of certain conditions and certain criteria that they are looking for. So what I would request is first you get inside your account. There you have a feature which can actually point out to your location. If you don't know how to do, I will send you a YouTube link through which you can check it once. So you can point out your location precisely, and then once the location is accepted, then you can actually get it properly corrected. Okay, sir? Does it answer your query? So you are on mute. Doctor, you are on mute, doctor. No, doctor, I can't hear you.
Hello. Yeah,
Yes.
that solves my query. That solves my query. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I have a question here which says, couldn't update my number to my clinic's branch rejected by Google. Yes. See, what happens is these companies, Facebook, Google, they give us so many free features. We sometimes, we use them so heavily, and then we even question them why it is not getting reflected. They keep changing their policies for so many different reasons. And one very important thing which happens in most of these cases is, the phone number not getting updated. So what to do when your phone number is not getting updated? First, I would request you to go and change it once and wait for 5-10 days. Again, go and change it once if it is still not reflecting 5 to 10 days. Or the third time, if possible, go and change it. It should happen, but give sufficient interval in between. What Google thinks is there are a lot of bots that those are trying to create some fake locations, and they are trying to do some fraudulent activities because of so many things. So what Google thinks is some of this can be like a bot, and the activity looks little suspicious, because of which even real human activity is not taken into consideration. So my suggestion is you try it in frequent intervals. It should definitely work, but you should give 10 to 15 days time. Supposing if it does not work, what to do next? If your account does not have good number of reviews, I would request you to close down your account. Say, if supposing if you have only 10 reviews, 15 or 20, or less than 50, or even less than 100 for that matter, you can close down your account permanently, delete your account, create another account simultaneously, and that should work for now. And make sure when you're adding your first number, add the right number. Changing becomes difficult, so add the first number as the correct number. That's it. I think I've got one more question. How can I remove my old clinic address from Google? If you are talking about Google My Business listing, then what happens is you first have to log inside your account. In your account, there is going to be a feature. I will send you one link maybe in YouTube. that tells you how to remove it. In that account, there will be a feature called permanently closed. After permanently closing it, only you should remove. Some people make this mistake of getting inside the Google and you changing the address, or if you no longer have the clinic or whatever, they try to just delete the account and come out. If you delete the account, what happens is the account actually in Google is not deleted. It's not deleted. So what happens there is it is deleted from your account. You don't the account, but the account exists in Google. So you should make sure that you are permanently closing it and then you are deleting it. So if you want to know how, and I will send you a link, you can ask me in the group there, I can give you a link specific to that. So now let us go to the second part. Okay, first
Excuse me,
part, what we are seeing. Yeah, please, sir.
can I actually, to answer the other question, I actually have for the Google Maps, with my experience, for the phone
Yeah,
number on
please.
the Google Maps, if it doesn't get
Yeah,
updated, I just wanted to add a point which might be
yeah, please.
helpful. What I,
Yeah, sure.
if it's not getting updated, actually now the Google business is through a process called Maps, right? Maps.google. So
Yeah,
if you go to maps.google and then you go to your profile, your business particular profile, and then you go to support and then you say that none of these questions fit you, and then you type in your question, it automatically shows a submit form where you can fill the phone number you want to along with the supporting documents,
okay.
basically your hospital phone number, address where you're paying the bill, or any document which has your hospital address and this phone number. You update it along with your website if you have a website, and usually I find it's more quicker. Like it still takes like 5 to 7 days, but it gets updated. That's what. And they use a ticket ID, and then you can communicate with them, and it's more faster. Just my experience. I just wanted to
That's
share.
good. That's good, doctor. And another thing, what happens is, doctor, every location. Say, for example, if we four people here in this group, if you are going to open Google My Business, what is happening is today, these people show different screens to all four of us, or at least say one person will have a different screen or different set of features for validation. When I do a class like for Google My Business review, say in a class there are 25 people in the class, and all 25 people we create an account. When we create the account, at last the verification for each one of us varies. For one account, it will show you to verify it through a phone number. Another one will ask you for a postal code. Another one will say that whether you want an SMS or whatever. What I'm trying to say is, what you're suggesting is one method which is really good. What I would suggest is, like, it all depends on case to case basis. If supposing, yes, you are able to figure out through how Dr. Jagdish was able to find out, it is well and good. If you're able to find it through the method that I told you, it is well and good. If supposing it is way too confusing for you, then you delete your account and you move forward if it does not have really very crucial information, because they keep changing the routes, and that's where it becomes little difficult. In one of the cases, it so happened that we were trying to change the number in a similar scenario what Jagdish was trying to say, and Google was asking us if you are a real hospital. So we were trying to say that yes, we are real. So then we produced this thing, the registration certificate, a lot of those things. They were not believing us actually. Then they asked us to go to the spot and switch on the camera and show the real hospital. We did that. Right after that, they asked us to take a photo, which is a hospital in the center, and then there are shops and premises before, and then shops and premises after the hospital. So take a photo which covers everything and then share it. So it was too, like, we were never expected Google could do such things, but they were trying to understand more precisely if such a business actually exists. So they maybe such a scenario, I don't know if others would have come across. Maybe rarely you will come across. They keep changing the rules very frequently, and it really is different. So if supposing you don't want to get into the hazards, you follow the last method. If you can very easily understand what they are trying to say and ask, and if you can really answer to them, then it is well and good. Okay, we'll go to the next method now. So first method, what we are trying to understand is it's call to action, which means here there is an emergency. Person wants to find you out in emergency, or somebody has referred you. They're trying to get your contact number. So what they do is they go to online medium, they try to search for certain keywords, whether it is your organization name or generic terms, basically, which are specific to the specialty, and then they are trying to get a number, and then they are trying to call to fix up an appointment. The first scenario. So once this scenario they have crossed, now they have fixed an appointment with you. Now they are coming in meeting you. Right after they meet you, and now if the person is diagnosed, saying that you may have to do a cataract surgery, for example, I'm saying cataract surgery. What happens next? Second comes the most important method, which is called Q&A search. Here, people have questions and they're looking out for answers. Okay, they have questions and they're looking out for answers. Here is the mind voice of your patient. Are you willing to help me? This is what your patient is asking you. Are you willing to help me? How do you help the patient? So what happens in any given scenario is that in any given market is that there are people who are informed that they have to undergo certain treatment. Okay, they have to undergo certain treatment and they are ready patients in the market. So these are people who have taken consultation. They know that they have a problem. They have to undergo treatment. So who is going to communicate to them, or how do you really convince them is a question. These people are not taking action because of several reasons, which could be finance and so many other things. But one of the reasons why they are not taking action or they are not moving forward is they have certain questions. Or it may be so that somebody is going to answer their question. They are going to be 100% convinced to come forward and avail the service. So what happens in such a scenario is that, they would have taken a consultation from Dr. A, and then the Dr. A says you have to do cataract. Then the patient comes to online and tries to find out what is cataract, what is the cataract surgery, how it is done, how many days it takes, everything. And when the patient tries to go through some material online and they find the video of a doctor who talks about cataract, much more convincingly well, much more elaborately well, with finer details and a lot of things. A patient who gets a consultation from Dr. A may even get treatment from Dr. B. It's likely. I'm not saying it happens every time, but it is very likely, because what we see is out of so many people who take consultation from you and who are also diagnosed for certain problems, they don't take the treatment from you. Supposing if you have, say, 50 people getting diagnosed for cataract, not all 50 people come to you for treatment. Maybe there is a drop of, say 10%, 20%, 30, 40, depends on the setup and the counselors you have and a lot of those things basically. What we've tried to understand is, there are people who are there in this in any given space and they're trying to ask a question. If you are going to be helpful to them, if you are going to answer their queries basically, you have a better share of capturing their attention and also helping them out in getting the treatment done. So if people have questions, where do they go online? They go to a place called Quora. So Quora, what is Quora? Quora, for those of you who don't know, it is a place, it is a repository of questions and answers. If it's like a search engine of question and answer, I can say, like how you have Google for a lot of things that you can ask and Google can answer. So people can come here, ask a question, and they may find an answer. So what is the common question people are asking? If you see, cataract surgery cost. But most of you, like me, you may be wanting to display your cost. Some of you may be hesitant. You don't want to display the cost. It happens. But the suggestion is, this is one thing which really determines, or, people think that, if you're talking about cost, you are being a little transparent about certain things. So how to really actually do that in a nicer way is what we're going to look at. And so how do you, pick up these questions? Like, how do you know what people are asking? So if you have such a question, then you have to come to a place like this called Quora. Here you will try to find what people are asking on various different aspects relating to ophthalmology and in various different aspects relating to any particular surgery that they want to know about. So if you can pick up questions from here, what you can do is you can prepare content or answers for all these questions and put it in your website or in your social media. If you do that, then you are actually answering their questions in a way that the questions for their answers, you're going to answer their questions in the way they're asking, answer them basically the questions that they have in their mind. So in that way, what happens is basically you are in complete sync with them, and then you are being very helpful to them. So one is this, from where you can pick up these questions. Number two is there are people who go to Google directly and then they ask questions. Say, for example, the question is, How much does it cost for laser eye surgery? And Google is giving a one-liner answer. So what does the Google say? And this feature is called featured snippet. What Google says is approximately 10,000 to 15,000 per eye is what it will cost you, and it is going to be worth your money. So where did Google pick up this line? Google picked up this line from this website, Maxivision Eye Hospital. So in Maxivision Eye Hospital, they have a blog written for laser eye surgery, get rid of glasses. One blog they have written. In that blog bottom, they have mentioned one line. It says approximately. So you can always use this word instead of being very, very specific. Approximately from this range to this range. On an ideal scenario, if supposing there are other complications, it may vary. You can always write it, but at least you're giving them some indication. So when such indications come, people think that you're very transparent about what you're actually talking about. So from here, you can pick up a lot of questions. Google has this feature called people also ask. You type any subject and then you will find something like this. And here you can pick up all these questions, whatever is relevant for you, and then add these questions in your FAQ section in your website, or whenever you're writing a blog like this, you can answer those questions here. So when you do all these things, when in your local search, you will have better visibility through Google, and from there you will have free traffic. And also, if you want to write better content for your website, what do? You go to sites like this called webmd.com, or you go to sites like Mayo Clinic, who are spending a lot of money, a whole lot of money on building the content, in creating the structure. They have the best of the best agencies in the world to think, deliberate, to form this content, basically, to create the structure for this content. What we can do at best is we can understand this content and then rewrite the content in our own style. But the structure, if you're able to understand from here, you are saving a lot of money. You don't have to copy, and even if you copy, it does not work. But you can create a framework which is, a well-researched framework from here. You can pick up the well-researched framework from here, and then you can implement it in your specific website. And then where do people go out and ask for things if they have a question? They go to YouTube. In fact, YouTube is the second most top search engine in the world. First is Google, second is YouTube, actually. So if people have a question, they come here, they are asking it. Now people also go to ChatGPT and ask. So here is where you see in YouTube, it shows you a lot of content relevant to your search. And people, especially in healthcare, what we have seen is they want to ask something relating to healthcare. They want to know about it much more clearly. Well, they come to YouTube and they check. Why? Because through YouTube, you can actually see the entire scenario, so the understandability is better, and it is also having the voice mode. So video and voice together when it comes, video and audio together when it comes, it helps them in understanding. In fact, the third most important part in this video part is the regional language. So most of these videos are available in regional languages, and that helps the person who is actually trying to understand the subject, even if the other person understands English. When it comes to health or some very important things, they want to understand it in their mother tongue so that they can very easily relate to the subject. So regional language. Number two is having this very good video, and then having a very clear-cut audio. So that was the second part. If any one of you has any questions, you can ask me. Second part is about Q&A. People are having questions, and if you are going to provide those answers, first you need to know what are these questions. These questions you can pick it up from Quora or from Google or from even YouTube. You can just see what are the best watched videos and pick up all those topics. And then what you can do is you can create content in the form of FAQs in your website, or you can pick up these topics and then you can write a blog on the topic, or you can pick up these topics which are frequently asked by people and start creating videos on it. Your video could just be, say, even less than 60 seconds video, and it can just answer, say, one question, one answer. Finish. In 60 seconds, you can answer a query. Is that clear? Does anyone have any questions? How can I answer on Quora? It's very simple. Just like how you create an account in Google, you have to create a Quora account. It's a free account to create. And with your Gmail ID itself, you can create an account, and you also become a part of the Quora community, and you can start answering. Any other questions? And answering in Quora is good because there are a lot of people. Another thing that we need to understand is these are qualified buyers. We call them as qualified buyers. These are people who have undergone the first process of shortlisting a doctor.
Can I ask one thing?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So regarding question and answer, putting your blogs or something on the YouTube and putting on the Quora. I don't know, you might be coming to the point of podcast later on, but how much is the podcast advisable?
Yeah, you definitely is not. I think no,
And how it works, or whether it is effective medium or not, just to have small snippets of your question answer sessions.
I'll just keep you on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the voice is getting echoed, so I just wanted to keep you on mute. So yes, of course, yes, podcast is very, very interesting. See, it's all about different forms of content. If you ask me, the first one I will rate is the video. A video is the most effective part that you can really get into. The second most effective I can say is an audio, that is through your podcast. Then comes your text. In fact, the next to that comes your visual infographics, and last part is your text. In that way, you can actually rank it. What I was trying to tell you about a qualified buyer. So what is a qualified buyer? A qualified buyer is one who has undergone the process of what is the real requirement the person has. So here the person has understood that he has an eye problem first, then gone for a consultation and understood that he has a cataract, and now is making a decision to do a cataract surgery. So he's a qualified buyer. Okay. And not everybody can get a cataract surgery just like that. So he is a qualified and he has to get a cataract surgery. And for that, he's looking out for alternatives. So the one who is asking questions is a qualified buyer. So wants to know more precisely the answers for the questions that he has got. And the one who is going to answer his question is the one who is going to win his trust. That's how this entire game of YouTube is made. So what happens in YouTube with all the big influencers today? They are asking questions on behalf of people and they are answering. And if you are going to ask these questions and answer these queries, you are going to win the game. For example, you take the example of a lot of food bloggers who are there. Okay, these people go to restaurants and review a food. So what happens is there are a lot of people who may want to try out something new, and this person has already tried out something new. So he is actually sharing that experience to the other person. So what is happening is, for the queries that I have in my mind, or the queries that can possibly come to my mind, the answer is already ready before me. And the one who is going to give me the answer is the person that I'm going to trust. And in fact, a food blogger is no food expert. He's not a chef, but still people rely on their opinion. That is the irony. So even in case of healthcare, you know that what I'm trying to refer to. So if you are not going to do your part of coming forward online and answering people, then there are a lot of others who are answering, and those advices may not be actually right. Okay, so let me go to the third part. Are you in sync with what we are talking? Maybe if you can just say yes in the chat, I will have an understanding that yes, we are all in sync basically. Yeah. Okay, fine. Raising hand in the sense you have a question, right, doctor? Or you are saying yes? I don't understand that. Yeah, okay, fine. Yes, I can see some yes. Thanks for that. Yeah. Okay. Usually what happens is, in my sessions, doctors don't usually ask questions, they only listen. But it is good to see some doctors are asking questions. So the third part, what you're looking at is a website search. So what happens is, sometimes when you're convinced about some XYZ organization, so a particular hospital or a particular doctor. So what you want to know is you want to know more about the organization and you want to know more about the doctor. So what's happening in this scenario is that, there are a lot of people The parents are here in India and the children are somewhere out. This happens even in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 locations where the sons and daughters are there somewhere abroad in US, UK, in other places. Basically, they are trying to find out a good healthcare facility near their particular locality, which could be any tier 3, tier 4 region. So what they're trying to do is they are trying to search online, they're trying to see who's the best doctor there, and they're trying to go to the website and trying to understand a lot of things, aspects basically. So here is the question that is there in the mind of your patient. Are you convincing enough? What does it mean? So here it is about the website search. When somebody is visiting your website, psychologically they have certain things in their mind. They are trying to check for certain things in your website. If your website is actually going to answer their queries visually through text and in the format as it takes them through, then you're actually passing that test. And if it is not, then you're actually failing on the test and you don't even know about it. So what are these things which somebody is trying to check in your website? First is called relevancy check. So if supposing yours is a multi-specialty hospital, but still your main focus or the main revenue earning area is ophthalmology, and more particularly in ophthalmology, you do more of cataract surgeries or laser surgeries, basically, whatever your main focus is. You have a Smile Pro machine or a Smile, basically. So whatever you have, if that is not showcased in the banner, you are actually losing out a lot on your revenue. So first, people what they want to know is they want to see whether how relevant you are to them. So make sure that your core specialty or your core area of treatment is highlighted very much inside your banner. The second important thing people look for is authority check. They want to know who you are in the industry, like how many years of experience you have, and maybe if you have in various geographical locations, which are the locations that you are in, or is the number of years of experience, the location, your accolades, your awards. It could be any of these elements that really quantify your authority in the segment. So third important thing is personality check. Who are you as a person? What is your value system? What is your vision? What is your mission? Today, personal branding is the key thing for any small and medium-sized organization, any healthcare organization. In fact, for even bigger corporates, we have names. So with those names, things run. So even for smaller setups, for intermediate setups, I think it is very much required for the personal branding to be taken very, very, very seriously. Even if yours is an organizational brand, let your organizational brand do its work, but you should also build your personal brand. Don't come under the conclusion that, if I try to brand myself more, then I will be only getting more patients. Then what will happen to others in the hospital? That is not the case anymore today. A lot of doctors today who are having very strong personal branding, maybe they are actually doing very less clinical practices also, but they are like strong personal brands. They are creating personal brand for the organization. So people are coming to the organization, they are attracting good talent through their personal branding. So they're getting more time to build the organization and get like-minded people on board. So your personal branding is very, very important, and make sure that you talk about your value system, your belief system in your website. And this is how people will relate to you. Say, for example, even if they don't get an opportunity to meet you directly, but if they understand if this is the kind of a vision you have, and if they are able to relate with it, they are connected with you even without your knowledge. Like, for example, Narayan Murthy, and he is there. Even he may not know me personally, but I know him, and I understand his value system, and there is a connect from my side to him, and he may not even know me on the other side. So that's the way how it's. You as an organizational owner, so if you have a belief system, and that is made evident here in your website and also in your internal branding space in your organization, that's how you truly reflect yourself as a leader. That's how you inspire others, and that's how you attract and retain good talent and like-minded people. The fourth important thing is approachability. When someone is coming to your website, how approachable are you? What happens, the sad story in most of the cases that we are seeing even still today is that a lot of the websites are not so updated. And in the contact us section, you will see one landline number which is not working most of the times, or even if it is working, it goes to the reception and the other person may answer effectively and may not answer effectively also. But this is the scenario with most of the hospitals who are not actually digitally ready actually. Your phone number is your gateway. If you can understand this really, really seriously, well, there is something really profound that we need to really develop on. I will talk to you about this, the phone number thing, little more in detail. So here in this case, if you see, when somebody is approaching you in your organization through your website, there are multiple touch points in this website. This is a fertility center website. They have a book an appointment form. They have a chat bot. They have a number for India. They have a number for Bangladesh. They have a number for Sri Lanka. So what happens in this case is that they know even patients come late in night. There are a lot of people who work in IT. They come late. They have a discussion in the night. Even at like say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock also they keep getting inquiries. At that time you cannot have a person to answer the phone call, but you can have a system in place that can record all these inquiries and give these inquiries to you so that the next day they can actually fix up an appointment for you. Call to action. The most important part why people are actually coming to your website, if they are interested, the next step that they have to be taking is understanding which doctor in your website they have to be fixing an appointment with. And if you have a number, how do they call and fix up an appointment? Or if you have a chat bot, how do they really connect with you and then fix up an appointment? So the very purpose of having this website, like if you have a shopping website, what is the main call to action there? People have to come here there and shop. So either do cash on delivery or they use their credit card for doing the account or the payment transfer, and then they get the product. So in your case, your hospital website should have a strong way, not just one way or one or two ways through which they can fix up an appointment. Should give multiple ways for people to connect with you. That's about the third most important part. Anyone has any queries relating to this? One example. Yeah. Yes, doctor. Please.
Yeah. Regarding appointment scheduling and all, dedicated phone number for the appointment or contact number, that should be always refreshed or latest number. What is your opinion, or whether you will be elaborating on the integrated scheduling system like Calendar and all? That should be taken into consideration, or whether you will be explaining that about how is the idea, like having a system like Calendar or otherwise third-party apps. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. So what I would advise you on this part is, just before I could advise you on what is the right solution, let me tell you on a very important aspect of what is happening, and you're also a part of this scenario, what is happening there in the industry. You're also witness to this. So you take these apps like Pristine and all that. So what they do is they focus on some surgeries like general surgery or things like that. They advertise heavily in the digital space. They pick up the patient inquiries, and the person there in the call center talks to them, books the surgery, and then the person gets operated in one of the hospitals, and they are discharged maybe after the treatment is over. So in this entire business model, they don't even have a hospital. Okay, I'll answer to this question. So they don't even have a hospital. What they have is only a call center. The calls which you are missing, they are picking up, or you are not so visible and accessible to them, so they are actually calling the number which is very visible, and from there things are happening. So one important area, like how you would consider any department is important in your organization, you should understand that there is one important department in your organization has to be this call center department. It can just be manned by one person, doesn't matter, but it comes with some solutions. Okay, what are the things that are included in this? First thing that you need in this is you should have a phone number which is a mobile number. A lot of people make a mistake in bringing a landline number. Don't bring landline number. If you have a mobile phone number, it is good. How it helps, the moment you have a mobile phone number, people think they are actually trying to call a person. So for them, it is easy to save on their phone and it is easy to reach you. If you can have a fancy number, nothing like it. Okay, having a fancy number is not compulsory, but having a fancy number will add some value to you. That is one. Number two, how it helps is, supposing if you have multiple branches in multiple locations, if you have a landline number, your extension changes, everything changes. With mobile number, one number is enough for you for the entire India. And even if people have to call you from outside, that one number is enough. That way it helps. Third thing what you need to do, sorry, first thing is the number, and the first number, in the number thing, two things I told you. The second thing that you need to do is you need to link this number to a cloud telephony system. Cloud telephony system. I'll repeat this one more time, called cloud telephony system. What is the cloud telephony system? Number, in the earlier days, you would have seen that, in any industry, they would have, like, they have multiple branches. They will put, say, 10 branches, 10 numbers, 20 branches, 20 numbers. Now, gone are the days. You don't put so many numbers now. What happens is, instead you get these solutions which are given by Tata. Tata has the solution called Do Big, and they are giving this cloud telephony solution. And there are a lot of local vendors in your own region. You can check for this service called IVR service or cloud telephony service. In your Google local search, you can check. So what happens is, you get this number and you configure this with a software called cloud telephony software. Once you configure it, somebody is calling this particular number, then the call comes to you through that software. When it is coming through that software, the entire call is recorded. Now today, for example, if you start, you do some promotion, some camp promotion or whatever, and if you have a normal mobile number and you have publicized, and if you got, say, 20 calls, you will have to manually make sure the other person has recorded everything properly. And if they missed the call, you can't rely on their judgment also. There is every possibility that they would have missed a lot of things. And you don't have a call recording also. And if you wanted to understand in a month how many calls you are getting, you will rely on human data, which is going to be completely wrong. Instead, this cloud telephony system will tell you on an average every day how many calls you are getting, what your staff is talking, like how you install a CCTV camera and you notice what people are doing in your organization, whether you see it or not, but people are under vigilance. Likewise, it's a CCTV camera for the phone call. So the person who is attending the phone call understands that you are going to listen to this phone call. So he's going to talk very, very carefully as per the script that you would give. So all the phone calls are recorded. If there are multiple calls going to come, what will happen is, say, for example, if you are talking to one person and the phone call is in, the other person is talking to you, and immediately you're getting another call, and immediately getting the third call also. The beauty of the system is this will transfer the call to the next person, the next number. The person will call only one number from outside. Internally, the call will be split and given to 3 people if there are 3 calls at a time. And if the third person is, if you're getting fourth call and you don't have a fourth person, the person will get a message, the one who is saying that, you are, thanks for calling, we'll get back to you shortly. This is the other number through which you can call us. And you will get it in your system saying that you got the fourth call also in this number. And immediately you can call that person back. And if you're getting missed call even in the late nights or whatever, those calls you can even call back the next day. So this is a very, very important investment. You should have a cloud telephony system in place. If you have a cloud telephony system in place, then you are very much having your track of business. Basically, that's very important. From phone number, you can track your bill number. That's how the connection has to happen. Phone number to bill number. It's very important. I got a question. Sir, if you are working with a hospital, how do I do it for personality check? If the hospital authority is not interested in promoting the doctor, but only services, very good thing. There are 2 ways to look at it. Say, for example, if you're a doctor working in a corporate setup or in a hospital who is not interested in promoting you, they're only interested in promoting the services. There are 2 ways to look at it. One is to make them understand that if that hospital is not having a good spokesperson who can talk in the social media and generate content, you can be that spokesperson by not charging them anything. You can actually effectively leverage their social media presence to promote their brand and also create personal visibility for you, if that is possible. If they say no, it is not possible, then you can always create your own channel in your own name. In fact, I advise that. In fact, every doctor that I say, even if you have an organization website, you should block a domain in your own name. Say dranilkumar.com. You should definitely have it. Whether it is useful or not useful, that is secondary. Anywhere, even in a conference you are going, if you are having so much that you have done in your lifetime, you can't keep carrying your profiles and resumes. You send your website link and everything is updated there. That's it. That one thing is enough. That talks about you. And those who want to really find you, who is definitely wanting to get in touch with you, they can very easily find you through that website. And that is a very big help that you are doing to them, instead of them relying on somebody and not getting the right information. So having your own social media channels, create your own social media channels in your own name, all that is free of cost. Maybe getting a domain may be a little expensive, maybe 600 or 800 rupees only, that too for a year. That is a necessary investment to make. Now with Google sites, even getting a hosting free of cost is easy. Just you have, they're saying in Google sites, you just pay for the domain 600, 800, get the website done free of cost. Hosting, website builder, everything is given free of cost. You don't even have to go to an agency. So if you have a very less budget, or if you have no budget, with this you can get started. And social media account, you don't have to pay one single rupee. You can create an account in your phone. That's it. Your branding is done. After that, whatever content you are going to post, for that, what do you need? You don't need anything. You just need your phone. You can just start talking. Just keep uploading. Initially, it may not come out well, but you can delete that content. That freedom and that complete control you have. Later on, you will pick up really well, very nicely well, and it will definitely bring in more viewership. Any other questions? Okay, let us go to the fourth part. So here we have seen somebody making an inquiry call to action. The second step, having queries, how they are trying to get the answers. Third step is, yes, I am trying to finalize with the hospital or this doctor, but I want to learn more about the hospital or doctor. I go to a website. Fourth thing, what happens? Everything is good, but still, can I trust them? Everything is fine, everything looks good, but can I really trust them? Trust search. Are you really trustworthy? This is a very big question that so many people have in their minds. Are you really trustworthy? What do people do in the online space to establish trust? Or what do people do to really verify if you are trustworthy? One in the physical space, what they do is they'll check with the friends, relatives, basically, from where they can pick up the information about you, your old patients more particularly, who will talk good about you, and from there they build a trust. But if they still want to know more about you, they can even go to Google reviews. Google reviews, there are a lot of people, those who have good Google reviews, would have seen it, you would have felt it by now that there are a lot of people who have checked your reviews, who come and say that, doctor, you have very nice reviews. I saw the reviews and I came. Maybe they're not telling you directly, but indirectly to your staff, they are saying. So the reviews play a very, very important role in whatever you do. How to get it done professionally, rightly, maybe you can ask me those queries, and how to handle a bad review on those things. I can advise you on how you can really get yourself charged with the right formats. Second is the other sites, basically, like Mouthshed reviews. These are other sites which talk about your brand. If supposing people want to know more about you, they can also go to these sites. But the first and the most prominent site that people look for information is through Google reviews. So make sure your Google reviews are very strong. That helps you to build your trust factor. Second most important thing, which is very much possible now, is the PR, press release, we call it. Say, for example, you are launching a hospital in your geographical region, whichever the region be, even if it is a village, with very, very less cost, you can get a nice press coverage. Of course, you would be giving an advertisement in your local paper or whatever, but make sure that does not stop only with the physical media. Make sure it is also coming and appearing in the online space. What happens is there is a section called news. And even if it is not in news, even if it is all, that is the general search people do. And if your information about your inauguration or your launch is covered in some, say, unknown websites, also doesn't matter. But if it is covered in a multiple websites, like a press release, it has very, very profound impact. Once you get something like that done, you build instant visibility about your brand in multiple different locations when people are specifically searching for you. It's a very important thing to note. Any questions there in this before you go to the last part? trust search. They want to find out, people want to find out the most trustworthy brand, and they want to really deal or conduct business only with the most trustworthy brand. And they think Google reviews is the way to find out which brand or which organization is more trustworthy. Yeah. Malesh Madiwal. Doctor, you want to ask me anything? You have raised a hand, doctor. Gentlemen, there, you want to ask me anything? Okay. Okay. Here we have a question. How to launch new hospital press release? Okay. Press release again. Elaborate. Okay, no problem. Fine. What is press release? Press release is a material that you get ready on, say, for example, you are launching a new hospital. So you make a write-up saying what are the facilities there in your hospital, the kind of equipment that you have, the kind of people that you have, the kind of vision that you have, or what problem in that particular location you are solving. Or you can even start your press release with some major case studies. Like, for example, there was a case study of one eye hospital that I saw, and there was a problem with one of the eyes of one person, and he was like nearly blind, and he did one cataract surgery, but even sorry, there was a thorn in the eye. There was a thorn in the eye, and it was not removed. Without removing itself, they did some cataract surgery and all that. Later on, it was still paining for that person, and then he came to this hospital. Then this doctor removed the thorn, and then from there, he was able to get his vision back. And this was also published in the local paper. So one, it can go in a case study kind of a route if supposing you have a case study worthy story. If you don't have a case study worthy story, then you go with the normal route of launching the hospital with XYZ, some VIP that you are calling, and then there is a ribbon cutting story and all that. Where do you release it? There are two ways to release this. One is your local publication. Your local regional publication, you ask them to come for the launch, or before the launch, you ask them, you convene a meeting in one of the hotels, and you give them a material saying what your hospital is all about, what are the kind of facilities you have, and it should have a very detailed write-up. And the write-up should be in English and also in your regional languages. And you give all these copies to the press guys, and you ask them for a coverage. So they will cover it up in the regional papers or magazines or whatever. The second is the online component. In online component, there is something called PR newswire sites. PR newswire sites. These PR newswire sites, what they do is you have to take a package with them. Per release, they will charge you some money, say 10,000, 12,000. It depends on the organization. And to these people, you have to give them the material in English or in regional language, and then they start putting it out in the online space. Even if that is not going to be very your regional one appeals to your regional area, but your online thing, it has to reach a far audience, an audience who can even be searching you from anywhere. Which is more effective? You have to be doing both, online as well as offline. Because offline you're doing for your immediate audience, online you're trying to create repository for building good faith. And both are not very expensive, very less, with very less cost itself you can pull it. You will have some local newspaper agents, some dealers basically, through their connects itself you can try to get some press release. And you, for this press release, you may have to have it in a nice hotel, and then you can you can have a nice hotel, you can gather them, they'll come for your lunch or dinner. Usually it is done in a lunch or on a tea break basically, and you can honor them with some gift basically. That is the way how it works. So despite oral requests directly, only some end up sitting back and writing review. How to increase number of people reviewing you? Very nice question. Okay, so for this question, the answer is this. For example, like all of you or most of you here would have used Ola or Uber. You would have used Ola or Uber, right? Yeah. So what happens in this Ola or Uber? The moment we book it, we get into the cab, we don't even mind who the other person is, okay? And when the vehicle starts until the time that person makes us reach our destination, he acts like an angel. He may be not so good with his words or whatever, but he will act like an angel till the last moment when he is dropping us to our destination, because he has to ask us one magic word, and that is 5-star reviews. Give me 5-star reviews. To just ask 5-star reviews from you Till the last, that person will act like an angel to you. So with every ride, that person is asking you for a 5-star reviews, and you make sure that you are giving some reviews. Unless you ask, you will not get it. But how to ask in the right way? That's most important. Because unlike other practices, we cannot just go openly and keep asking for reviews. You have to create a culture. You have to create a system for this. Who are the people who are going to be there in this particular format? First, apart from you, there are 2 to 3 people who are in touch with patients. So patient coordinators, basically, who could be at reception or who are trying to get in touch with patients. You have to tell them, you have to act like an angel. You have to be an angel. You have to be the angel reincarnate. And you have to present yourself in the most pleasant way that the other person can really be very happy to be spending the time that they're spending in the organization. They have to be very helpful in all these things. The moment they are, at the end of the treatment, post-treatment, there is a delight. Okay, the patient is happy. Now they are recovered. And that is the time when this patient coordinator can go forward and say, how would you rate the experience of your journey here? Basically, how about your recovery and everything? The patient will definitely say good words about you. And that's when you can ask them to go do a Google review then and there inside the organization. And you don't have to do anything. The patient coordinator will do. If your patient coordinators are initially trained in such a way, then they will go that extra mile to do all these things. In fact, they will even say, write my name, ma'am, if you think my name is Miss Rekha. You can even say Rekha, staff nurse there, did really good service to you. And they mention, no, I will definitely mention your name because you were very good to me. And if they mention Rekha, then you should know that you are creating brand ambassadors. Even if that person Rekha leaves your organization, doesn't matter. Your patients are not going to go follow Rekha. But what you need to tell them is, this time it is Rekha, next time it is Sita, another time it is Geeta. Every single time you keep the names coming inside the reviews, you really score very, very high. So you need to create a culture. You need to tell them that this is a format, and you have to tell them that, say, we are getting 100 patients, and say who are coming for surgeries in a month, for example. And we should make sure that all these 100 patients are very happy. And if the 100 patients are happy, they will definitely come forward and give reviews, maybe say 70% or 70 reviews for that matter. So you can tell them that each one of you, if you're going to be presenting yourself really well, then at least we can get, say, each one of you can get 20 to 30 reviews or 20 reviews or 15 reviews. So at the end of each month, you should be giving a very good recognition to these people. And those who are getting good amount of positive reviews, you should not push them. You should not have hard targets. You can have soft targets, but you should not push them. They should not be, acting so cheaply just for getting reviews. It should all come out very genuinely. And only for the genuine reviews, you recognize these people. You reward them and you say that the best reviewed nurse, the best reviewed whatever, the most reviewed nurse, inside your dashboards, you put their photo. There you create a culture for an organization with reviews. And it really goes up and up. The organizations who are doing this, in fact, in one of my sessions with another forum like this, another community, I was just giving this advice. And the doctor on the other side, they had one of the accounts which was like having 2.3 rating. She immediately picked up, she was very smart. She immediately picked up this point. She had a meeting. And I'm meeting the doctor 1 week after that session. Actually, she called me. So we were meeting the doctor 1 week after the session. And do you know how many reviews they had? Nearly, say, 100, 150 reviews they had. It was a hospital which was having a very good patient flow. They were not actually capitalizing on this entire scenario. Now that the staff are trained, they are having a reward system, an incentive system, in fact, and also a recognition program. And immediately you see all these people are really performing very well. So you need to call your people, have a proper meeting, and then you allow them to talk about it, and things will happen automatically. I am working with the other organization which is into emergency care. Some of you may even think like for treatment and all that, how people will give reviews or will patient give reviews and all these things. I am talking about one organization which is into acute emergency, like ICU. They handle only ICUs. Do you know how many reviews they have? They collectively have 2,000 plus reviews and 1,000 plus reviews only in their main corporate page. How does it happen? Everyone in the organization at ground level is becoming an angel. That's the very important part of it, because doctor's interaction is very, very less. It is the staff nurse, the patient coordinator, who has to really, really be very helpful to the patient at the end. And that's how you really build good reviews. So how to give Facebook ads, are they helpful? So for this Facebook ads, we are having a separate session, doctor. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about that. Is the next session I'm going to talk about it. And in the last, the third session, I think I'm going to talk about it in detail. Yes, it is helpful. Yes, it is not helpful. Which one is helpful? Which one is not helpful? We'll talk about it in detail. In fact, I'll tell you how to do the Facebook ads also on your own. There are two ways to do it. Name of PR online site. It's PR Newswire. PR Newswire is a general term that we use. I will also send you one link. So even if there are advertising agencies, basically, they will go through this PR Newswire sites only. Okay. So you can talk to one of these executives. They'll do the needful for you. Or if you already have an agency who is working for you, you can ask your agency. They will get in touch with them, and then they will do the necessary materials ready for you. They'll get the necessary materials ready for you. So can you go to the last part? Can one bad review affect 10 good reviews? So what I would suggest is bad reviews. Instead of looking at it that way, you look at it this way. Of course, yes, bad reviews do affect your rating overall. It all happens in the law of averages. My suggestion to you is whether you get a negative review or not, you start building on your positive reviews very much when you get negative reviews, because you can't satisfy or bring 100% satisfaction to all your patients, because not all people are like, even if you do your best, some people are definitely not going to be happy. So for those people, at least you should make sure that you have very good amount of reviews on the higher side. Even if there are bad reviews, these bad reviews don't affect your overall rating. Your overall rating should always be high with positive reviews. What happens, like, okay, if you have got few bad reviews, you were negligent about it, you were not so thinking about it, now it is affecting you, and you have got few bad reviews, and your rating is not that really great, what do? My suggestion to you is, if supposing the reviews are very damaging, very bad, and you really have a bad rating, don't think too much about it. Just delete your account, like the one that I told you. Permanently close the account and delete the account. Because you may be good, but the only reviews that you're getting are bad. Maybe because the good people are not talking. So it happens sometimes. You can't avoid it. So what do? You just go, you delete your account, you can't do much about it, start a new chapter. When you start a new chapter, build the culture and then start a new chapter. Then give this link to all your people, patient coordinators, who are going to make sure things happen for you. Okay. What is the other question I had? And one battery. Okay, I think it's answered already. Any other question? No. Fine. Let me go to the last part of the session. Subliminal search. Can you all see my screen? Can somebody say yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So fifth part is called subliminal search. What is the subliminal search? People are searching for things by actually not searching, or by actually not taking steps to search. That is called subliminal search, which means people have things at the back of their mind, so they are not taking any action to really achieve the end result. But when in the option or the result comes before them, they are ready to grab that opportunity. Okay, what is it? Let me elaborate to you in detail. So are you really the brand I love? This is the mind voice of your patient. Okay. So first part under subliminal search, what happens? Say for example, you go to a supermarket and you have written 10 items in your list. But when you go to the supermarket and you start purchasing, and when you come back home, you are able to see that instead of 10 items in your basket, you have 15 items in your basket. What are these 15 items? What are these 15 items? Can anyone answer? Why did it become 15 from 10? Any replies?
Sale item.
Sorry?
There was a sale going on for this
Yes,
particular
exactly. Sale was going on. Discounts were there.
Discounts were there.
And then
And I had forgotten that I needed that thing, but that it came in front of me, and I realized I needed it.
So you actually wanted to buy something. I provided before when you were talking. Okay, sorry. So
You picked up a few things of that brand.
yeah, few things of the brand. Yes, very true. So what happens is basically there are things that are displayed before you, and it says that it is only a one-day offer that you have to pick up, and you will save this much money, and then you change your alter your list. Sometimes you see one product and then you realize, yes, you were supposed to add that product long back in your list, even before you could write down this 10, and this was not at all there, and since it was there at the back of your mind and you write it down. Similar is the case with awareness marketing in social media. If you start your social media marketing with a question that people wanted to ask for a very, very, very long time, and they never got an opportunity to sit down, relax, and find that information online. But if it appears before them, they're ready to play that video in their Facebook or in YouTube or in Instagram. That is how subliminal search has got a bigger market share than anything in the world. Clear? There are people who are going out and searching for information. Those are serious audiences. There are people who are trying to find answers for their queries. They are qualified buyers. And then there are a lot of other people who are trying to find out answers for their queries, but not taking any initiative. For them, you are making your queries, you are making your message reach them. That happens through social media. Clear? So that's how you use your social media. That is called subliminal search. And how do you use it? Some scenarios we will talk about. So in social media, what happens is, I have some case studies to show you, and we will talk about social media in detail in the next session anyway. But this is just related to that basically. So here is one case study of Ophthall dentistry. So what happens with this organization is that he starts one center, and in that one center, very diligent practice, very, very ethical practice, and very hardworking doctor basically. And one day it so happens that he gets one patient, and he treats the patient really well. And then that patient happens to be the Miss India World 2018 title winner. Her name is Anukirti Was. So she comes one day and she gets a treatment, and doctor also doesn't know what is happening actually. He just treats her like any other patient, and the next day she's actually participating for the Miss India World 2018 title, and then she becomes a overnight celebrity basically. So when she becomes a celebrity, what happens is people start asking, the media goes and asks her basically, who did this for you, who did the hair for you, who did this for you, that for you, a lot of things basically. And there she voluntarily comes forward and says that I got my smile designing done by Dr. Kribaharan and so center, and so things in Instagram. That one testimonial of this individual helps this particular doctor scale up this brand to a very great level. And then once he gets one celebrity in, it so happens that these are like reality show celebs or page 3 crowd in Tamil Nadu. So very popular faces in the reality shows basically. So they start coming in, and then a lot of now actors basically they've started coming in. So it is just that one start with that one Instagram testimonial, it started reaching people. See, people wanted that answer for a question that they have, and when they are getting that answer in the form of a testimonial, so there is no stopping that. Okay, this is another case study that I want to tell you about the social media part of it. See, you don't have to create a lot of content sometimes. It could be just to say one piece of content that you're planning to create, but you create it really, really well. Here is a brand. I will talk about this brand in detail tomorrow in the next session also. They are trying to launch one video. How did they create the video? What was there in the video? We'll also talk about it. So they wanted to launch the brand, and the brand was launched by Mr. Chandrasekhar, Chairman Tata Group. And this brand happens to be in a tier 3 location. and they are building a world-class cancer center, oncology center. They are launching the entire brand with just to say one 5-minute video. And this 5-minute video is made in a regional language, and it talks about the common queries people have about cancer. So they gather nearly say 500 different questions from people from all walks of life, and then they answer these. Then they this thing summarize these questions as 17 important questions, and then they start answering these queries in the form of a video. So in this video, what happens? There's a query asked by one person, and then there is an answer which is coming from a doctor. I will try to play this video in the next thing. Even if you don't understand the language, just get a feeler of how it really was formulated. So this video it goes viral basically, and it helps in establishing the brand presence. Another most important thing that happened through this video was attracting the right talent. Getting the right talent in tier 2, tier 3 location is a very, very big challenge. But through this branding activity that happens, the organizational brand became very, very popular. And there are a lot of people from this location are actually going to city as nurses, as doctors, basically. When they start finding out, yes, there is a city level care provided here in their region. Instead of going there and getting that salary, they can actually get a similar salary here. And actually, there is a very big shift. Even the video became very popular in the Facebook space, basically. Nearly 1.5 million views they had. So the third part of the case study, what I'm trying to relate to is trend-based or situation-specific marketing. So when people are talking about one specific subject, like for example, during COVID times, it was black fungus that people were talking about. And this doctor more particularly, he came up with a content for black fungus, just a 5 minutes, approximately 5 minutes video, which was made in 3 languages, Tamil, Hindi, English, and this was circulated in the Facebook. So when this video started reaching, we were trying to do an experiment, how with even with meager budgets, how this video could reach so many people and have created so many views. And what happened through these views were, even though the video was created more for awareness purpose, he started getting patients right after seeing the videos, his own patients who were having similar symptoms basically. One way it was helping the society understand what was happening with respect to this particular aspect. Number 2, actually during the COVID time, it was totally completely dry. You know that all core specialties were very, very badly affected. And even during that time, he was getting people coming in right after these videos were circulated. So the idea is basically, how do you really create the awareness video which can relate to what people are trying to understand more about in your specific specialty? So once you start creating content specific to what people are going to ask you, then your content is going to really have a very good reach. So this is the overall blueprint of how a patient tries to discover a brand online. One is through the call to action search, where they are trying to take some initiative to search you, or generally any hospital which offer that core specialty, or through the question and answer. They specifically have a question for which they're trying to find the answer. When they're trying to find the answer, if they find a video or a blog which really helps them, they want to know who is the author behind it, or which is the organization created it, or who's the doctor who's doing the video, and from there they can even approach to get consultation or treatment from the respective organization. Number 3 is the website search to understand more about the organization. If they really are convinced about the organization, they want to learn more about it, and they come to the website, and then they even fix up an appointment. Website becomes the gateway to connect the patient. Number 4, if they really want to understand, if they're getting a reference, if they can trust this particular organization or this doctor, they just want to go through the referrals, or they can even come here online to check for the reviews through Google reviews. 5th is the most powerful medium, which is the subliminal search. So people are actually not searching for so many things which they actually need to search, or which they actually want to search, and they're not taking any initiatives. And when such content is being presented before them, that becomes a solid evidence for them to take action. And that happens mainly through awareness marketing. So that's about the online patient search journey. Say, for example, if you are a clinic, eye clinic, how you can leverage on this search journey. If you are a single specialty hospital, or if you are a multi-specialty hospital, or if you're looking for international patients, how can you really make use of this format? So I'm going to give you the format here, how each one of you can make use of it. Before I could go to this, I just want to check with you if you have any queries. So second part, what I'm going to do now is to give you the blueprint. How you can make use of this format. Any questions? If you may have any questions, you can ask me. You can unmute and you can ask me.
Yeah, regarding contact, mobile number, contact and reception, you said that you should be creating an IVR system, cloud telephony systems. Whom we should be able to, we should be contacting for this.
You should look for. I think it's getting.
Suppose that Airtel is service provider of
Yes,
mobile.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
are we supposed to go to the Airtel station or?
No. This has got nothing to do with telecom service provider. Just a minute. So this has to do with the cloud telephony service provider. So what happens is there is a software that comes in between your telecom provider and your actual the service that you are using, the phone number basically. In between that, the service is going to be applicable. So for this, there are a lot of service providers. In fact, if you want to go for standardized companies, even Tata also is providing this cloud service. I'll just see if I can get you the link of Tata. And yes, I could get that. Yeah, I'm just sharing that link also in the group. Just check if this service by Tata is okay, or you can even go for any local service provider. Just check for IVR system. They will tell you. Any IT person will tell you. Your IT person himself will tell you. Okay, what is the question here we have? Your personal email. You're asking my number. I will share it. I'm already. You can actually get my email from there, and I will also share my email ID. So we could be realistic in marketing, and we should be realistic in marketing tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. What works in one place may not work in another. Is there something from your experience that works maximum, or in most of the cases? Okay. In my experience, what works, I'll tell you. Of course, yes. In one place, certain things may work, and certain things may not work. But when it comes to digital, there is one thing that really works everywhere. That is creating awareness content. There is nothing equal to this. If you take it seriously, I'll tell you something, which is the secret formula. Education is equal to conversion. Education is equal to conversion. If a person is really not impressed by your education, they are definitely not going to be impressed by your promotion. You may conduct camps, you can give offers, but if they see that education-wise it is not that great, on the other side, even if you don't have a promotion, a camp or an offer, but if you do education properly, people are going to come. On the third scenario, you do very good education. With good education, you are having a good promotion also, then it has double the advantage. So if your genuinity, your trust factor has to reach people, you have to talk. So far you have not been talking, you should start talking. Because people know you, they've been seeing you 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years practice. So now is the time. All the rich, valuable information you have garnered has to come to light, has to reach people. And once it starts reaching people, it is not going to leave them keep themselves silent. They're definitely going to do some action, either by liking your video, commenting on your video in good terms, sharing your video, or referring their friends, or even when they have a need, coming to you. That's the way how it is going to work. And if this is built, we have seen in most of the cases, if your online awareness marketing is done properly, starting when you are even creating your videos, and if it is not reaching much, you can even spend some money to promote your video. Let it reach more people. Today, creating awareness marketing, nobody is going to say anything. In fact, government is spending money to do awareness marketing. Okay. So for AIDS awareness, government was spending so much money, crores and crores of money, okay, for spreading the awareness. When government can do, we can also do awareness marketing. So it is good for people, right? But only when it becomes more commercial, when you try to very strictly do a little commercial tone promotion, then people think that this doctor is very commercial in nature. But awareness marketing, nobody. In fact, awareness marketing is more effective, more rewarding than the other one. But if you can do both properly in a proportionate way, then it's where you have a winning formula. If you have any questions, I can answer, or I can go to my presentation back.
Do we need to have our personal domain or hospital domain is fine?
Yeah, fine. Very good question, doctor.
Website.
Yes, doctor. I'll just answer to that.
Yeah.
So my suggestion to all of you here is, now that we are trying to learn digital marketing and we are trying to take some initiatives, my request to all of you is please block a domain in your name. You should definitely do that. And also you should definitely create your own social media accounts in your own name. Whether you use it or not, at least first block it. Someday you may think of using it, but when you're thinking of using it and if you don't get it, then that's where the problem is. The better use it.
No. But whether
That
it
is one.
should be my personal name or my hospital name, if it comes to that.
Okay, I'm coming to that.
Okay, sorry.
First part is you should block your personal domain, personal social media, everything. Whether you use it or you don't use it. Number 2, organizational name. Yes. If supposing you want to build your organization very strongly, you want to promote it and all those things, what you will do is the organization cannot be promoted on its own. The organization needs a hero for promotion, and you are going to be that hero. So your content, your communication, your video is going to be played inside that organizational website, organizational social media channels. Supposing if you don't have an organization, you're working in some other organization, if they don't allow you to do all these things, then you use your personal social media to build all this reputation. On the other case scenario, say for example, you have built a large organization and there are multiple people who want to take a share of your organizational media. So you yourself can't sit tightly and control the entire social media and get all the leverage on your own. So what you do is, say maybe you take 10%, 20% of the share and you give the 80% out there. And then you in your own channel focus more on awareness marketing. Nothing else, pure awareness. There is a doctor that I know. She started a channel called Ask Your Gynecologist. She is very popular now in the online space. Her name is Dr. Sonal Parihar. And she has got a fabulous amount of followers in Insta and YouTube basically. And she keeps getting a lot of queries from various different geographies, and she does good online consulting and all that stuff.
No, like we have a domain for the hospital website.
Yes.
But this personal domain, you please let us know that do we need to have a personal domain as well?
So yes, doctor. So what I would suggest is, yes, you should definitely have a personal domain. If supposing your organization is built, like if you are the core person of your organization, and if your organization is very much centered around you, what you will do is you will block your personal domains and keep it. You may not have to use it actively. Just to create a single page website, you are going to anyway add your profile. So add this profile in that particular website and just keep it. Don't use it much. Tomorrow it will be useful for some CSR activities. I'll tell you how it can be used. But as far as when you are a single man show, you will try to focus your entire leverage through your organization website only, through your organization social media only. So you will block it and not use it aggressively, but you will use only your social media of the organization. Clear?
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Yeah. So let us get back to the presentation and let me just finish the last part. So last part is more about the plan. I'm going to share this presentation to all of you. So I want you to go through this presentation before you come to the next class, and if you may have any queries, you can ask me. So what I've done in this planner is I have tried to segregate and give it to you like a model plan. Like for example, under call to action search method, there are these 4 methods we are talking about. Under each method, for you to really appear what you should be doing. Some of these are very, very suggestive. You can take up this as a suggestion and implement, or some of it you may need not take it up also. But these are like mere suggestions on weekly. It's like a planner, activity planner, like a workbook, what you need to do. Similarly, for a single specialty center, what you need to do. The activities will increase as you are going up the ladder. If you are a multi-specialty hospital, what all works you need to be doing. And then as a, for targeting international patients, some of you may be actually in cities or in tier 2 locations where you're getting good international patients coming. So if supposing you want to target them, how do you really, target the international patients also through the same framework? Any specific questions you have regarding anything relating to whatever we discussed today, or anything to do with international patients or anything basically?
How to identify the good website maker?
Good website. Yeah.
Because everything you cannot handle. Social media. Is there a good idea to assign the job to some agency who can handle your Instagram, Facebook page, YouTube channel, and website also?
Sure. Doctor, just
Yeah.
So yes, so what I would suggest is there are multiple ways through which you can accomplish this task. First is what you want. I have given you so many options. From here, I will give you this presentation also. So through this presentation, what I would suggest is go through it once. Don't do everything. All at once is like too much dosage. You have to go one at a time. So pick up whatever you need to do in this part. So once you have shortlisted what needs to be done, then comes the action part. So action is, say for example, now you have decided to do a website. One, you can do website on your own with some little payment, but things that you can handle on your own. That is the first option. Do it yourself. That is possible, but I don't recommend everyone to do it. Those of you who want to do it, who want to save money, who cannot pay much to agencies, they can go to the first method. The second method is you go for an agency who is closer to you. If you already have someone through some reference, check their works, verify their works, because what happens is one big problem a lot of people complain is, I started my website and now I can't trace my website wala. He's no more there. They have shut down the business and I'm unable to trace him. So all the effort that I have put in creating that website is nowhere to be found. So go through some references. If you have your fellow doctors who are already getting the website done, you check with them. The third is, if you really want, you can also take our support. That's the last resort. I don't promote myself here. I'm just trying to say that is also possible, but you can go for the first method or second method first. If supposing you can't find anybody, then we are also there to support you in any case if you want. Okay, doctor? Next.
Thank you.
Okay. Will you be sharing the blueprint? Yes, yes, doctor, we will be sharing this blueprint. And then from there, you can actually, I want you to implement and see some results. In fact, the very idea of conducting this workshop or the series of things is that I'm very passionate and I want to interact with a lot of doctors and share some of this knowledge, because a lot of people are not actually aware of some simple things that they can do on their own and still create very profound impact in the digital space. So I wanted them to know about it. Only for that I wrote the book on the subject. So definitely, yes, I'll be sharing all this blueprint. I want all of you to use it and also implement it in whatever way you can. How frequently should the website be updated? 3 monthly. Okay, I don't know what it meant. How frequently it should be updated? If that is the question, my suggestion to you is, like, every month once at least there should be a blog or two from your side in your website. If, so for example, if you are building your website, I would suggest you to build your website in something like a WordPress. WordPress is a platform for you to build a website. Okay. In this, what happens is, if you learn the basic nuances, it's more like you are handling a Word document or a PPT. Okay, little more technicalities you may need to know, but it is very easily understandable. You can yourself write a blog and you can yourself publish it. You don't need anybody's help. So if you ask me how frequently, once in a month, at least there should be some update. Then it looks good. And once in 3 months, at least you should change the banner, website banner. Okay, and if you're conducting any camps or something like that during those times, of course, yes. If you ask me properly, what needs to be done is, you should definitely have a 1-year planner with you. You have cataract awareness month, you have this awareness month, that awareness month. All the calendar is already available. Get the calendar. Now we are actually meeting on a very auspicious day, I can say, in a way, the first day of the financial year. So this is the right day to start. Maybe if you've missed out 1st of Jan, maybe now is the right day. I think a lot of New Years are coming in. We just now had Ugadi, and now coming forward, I think we are going to have Tamil New Year and everything. So this is a financial New Year, and this is the right time to get started and make a plan basically for the entire year. And one thing that I would like to tell you, you don't have to do everything like you don't have to do like keep working on all these things regularly. You can create content all at once. You have a time on a Sunday, spend just 2 to 3 hours. I'm talking about just say 1 minute video, not more than that. Creating 10 to 15 videos in no time is easy. And you can just like that keep the content, and weekly once you post only one video, which means that in 3 months, for 3 months, you have the content ready, 12 videos done. And all these things are easily schedulable. That's what we're going to discuss in the next session. How do you schedule this content? Earlier, we have to pay money to even get a scheduling software. Even still, those softwares are available. But some of these functionalities are very much available now free of cost. Okay, I mean the content modification of that is done. I'm starting a new eye hospital. Please tell me digital marketing strategy. Okay, so if you are starting a new eye hospital, what you need to do? There are 3 aspects to this. Okay, first is called digital infrastructure. First part is called digital infrastructure. What is the digital infrastructure? It comprises of your website. Number 2, it comprises of your social media accounts creation. Number 3, it comprises of your Google profile. These 3 things form your social infrastructure, digital infrastructure. First thing is that you have to keep this thing ready. Whether you are a new hospital, upcoming hospital, existing one, whatever, you should get this first part ready. Second part is called you should have a calendar of activities, which is what I was just trying to tell you some time back. Calendar of activities. You go search in Google the eye awareness months or eye awareness days, you get a long list. And if possible, I will also try to share the list in the next session. Take that list and then create your calendar around it. So for example, if there is a cataract awareness month coming up, so what can you do about it? So can you write a blog on cataract? Can you create videos, 1-minute videos, some 10 videos on the subject? And can you post the same video in Facebook, same video in YouTube, same video as shorts in YouTube, same content in 3 places? Can you do something like that? Or can you do a Facebook Live, which is completely free of cost? Like that, you can create a schedule, a calendar of activities, which I will share one calendar sample to you in the next session that we will have. Third part is promotion. Digital infrastructure, calendar, and then promotion. So you've created a digital infrastructure for people. If somebody wants to locate you online, you are there in a specific address. Number 2, you have decorated the address very neatly, well, with good interiors and everything. So now people, those who are going to come inside, they are going to see very rich, valuable content in your space. Third thing is that people still don't know your address. You have to promote your address. That's where you call them, and that's how you do promotion. So you create a nice video, and it will not reach organically initially. What you do is you create this video, and then you do some small promotions in Facebook and Instagram, so that people get to know about you through that video. Then inside, when they come inside to your page, then they learn that so much about you. You've created a lot of beautiful videos. They become your subscribers. Then they start following you. That is promotion. Clear? This strategy is applicable all throughout. Okay, domain doctor. Personal domain with doctor as prefix. Yes, of course. I want you to take doctor as prefix. Hope it's not April Fool. Maybe April Fool. Okay. Please repeat digital infrastructure. Digital infrastructure, as I said, it is about creating your own physical, your own address in the online space. That happens through 3 things. First is your website, your organizational website, or your personal website in case if you don't have an organization. Number 2 is your calendar of active. That is 1. Number 2 is your social media accounts that you need to create. For you to just get started, Facebook, Insta, YouTube is enough. Third point is your Google profile account, which is again free of cost. Okay, want to add a point? Yes, doctor. Yes, Mr. Satish.
Hi, yeah, Jagdish. The thing is, it's really nice. Like, I mean, you picturized all these accounts. I just I just wanted to talk to you about like when someone when one of the persons was asking like I mean or go to an agency or something.
We can't hear you. Can you type your question or can you type your answer? Yeah, suggestion. Your voice is not audible. Okay, we lost you. Anyways, so we just have got 5 more minutes. If somebody wants to
audible
ask
now?
you.
Is it audible now?
Yes. You can actually talk.
Yeah. So whenever you're trying to buy a domain and this, try to with and have a complete access for the domain for yourself along with the web space, because tomorrow if he leaves you also and goes, you still have an access to give it to the new designer and can move on. All your social media accounts also, you should have the number which the phone number which actually is attached to it, your own number, rather than giving it to anyone, because once they leave out of the space, it's very difficult to get back those names. For them it's nothing, for you it's everything. So I strongly suggest you to buy the web space, whatever is there on the digital media, to be on your name, and just give them managerial access so that they can use it. Just a suggestion from my end.
Yeah, very, very valid suggestion, Dr. Jagdish, because a lot of people are suffering from this. A lot of people are not aware. They are very busy doctors. So they allow it to the agency or the freelancer or anybody in their organization to buy all these things. Later on, when the person leaves you or the agency leaves you, you have no clue basically what happens. So what Mr. Jagdish says is very valid. And my suggestion to all of you is like whenever you're trying to do this, one way how you can lock this entire thing is through your phone number. So whenever you're asking your agency or your person to block your domain or your social media account, make sure that you are giving your phone number for validation. So even if the other person is not there, still you can retrieve your account back with your phone number in place. There's a question, we are all doing some strategies, what others are doing. Do you really think it works for every individual or just to swim with flow? Okay, so what happens is, if supposing it depends on very much on your market. Even if you do simple strategies in tier 2, tier 3 locations or tier 4 locations, it really works out amazingly well. You don't have to really bother. It will really give you very good attention. It will give you really good kind of a the kind of support that you need from digital. Another thing is why I'm talking about awareness marketing is that even if there is another doctor who's going to talk on the same subject, people still want to listen to you also because you have your unique way of delivery. People start developing a liking to you. So when they have this particular fan following thing coming up, and definitely like you are unique and the other person is unique, it doesn't matter even if you are both competing in the same space. It's going to be, you are going to have your own set of followers, and that's how you uniquely differentiate yourself. So more than strategies, it's about action. So yes, you understand few strategies, but you act on it, then you create your own flow. In fact, you don't follow the flow, you create your own flow. Because you really can't follow the flow if supposing you are trying to get some good traction from your audience. You will create your own way. That's the way how it works. So thank you all of you for being very attentive to the last. Sorry, you want to ask me? Yeah. Yes, doctor.
Yeah, no, please permit me to show this book to you.
Oh my God.
It happened so incidentally 2-3 weeks ago, in search of some digital marketing research and study, I bumped into the book, this on Amazon, and nice book written by you yourself. And really, what I had completed the book, and it happened so that I wanted to have practical tips from you. So that's why I joined the course.
It really means a lot.
Digital marketing.
It's really serving the
Amazon has got it.
Yeah, Amazon. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For being present today. And thanks for being there till the last. I definitely want all of your feedback. Sorry, sir. I'll just keep going. So I'll definitely. It's not clear. So I will definitely want your feedback for today's program in the group. So, and also I will share this presentation in the group, and the video recording is also available, which will be shared by the Ophthall team. Thank you once again for being a wonderful audience. Let's meet next week with a lot more information. So I am there in that same WhatsApp group. Doctor, we'll all stay connected again. Thank you very much for being very
Thank
attentive.
you. Thank
For
you.
being there. Yeah. Thank you very
Thanks.
much.
Thanks.